Lee Chow-ming, and how he became Malaysia's most notorious serial rapist. He would look for his victims in newspaper ads, targeting florists, tuition teachers, or insurance agents. He would bring them to a fast food restaurant where he would drug their drinks before suggesting to go elsewhere. He would force his victims to sign over their valuables and money before raping them. And soon after, he was caught. He was sentenced to death.
That guy, he was guilty of raping many girls. Can you imagine if one of the victims is your sister, your mother, or your auntie? Definitely you will say, yeah, right, he deserves it. However, I believe it is not the right way to punish the people for the crime that they do. However, I believe the death penalty is not the only way. So, in this video, I would like to convince that the death penalty by hanging should be abolished because it has negative effect. There are many reasons to consider that the death penalty by hanging should be abolished. First, it is punishing the poor. Second, the imperfection of the criminal justice system. And third, the question of human rights. Many of you might be disagree that the death penalty by hanging should be abolished because the criminal activities improper deed. I will now prove to you that not all criminals deserve it. My first main point is the death penalty is punishing the poor. Because the death penalty is expensive. Almost all death penalty cases can afford their own lawyer because the expenses include legal costs, pre-trial costs, jurisdiction, and appeal costs. According to the official portal JBG, Jabatan Bantuan Guaman Malaysia, shows the table of legal aid fees and contribution regulation 2017. As you can see from the table, it's proof that the death penalty is expensive. Next, there are communication problems in the death penalty. According to the Amnesty International Malaysia, there was Chinese guy. He was convicted based on the statement he made during the arrest. In Mandarin, his mother tongue, without a prison by a lawyer, and was threatened by police in the Malay language. In this case, he fails to defend himself because he not a lawyer to translate during his trial. Now, how about my first main point? You still not agree yet? Now let's move to my second main point. We believe that the punishment that has been imposed on criminal by judge is fair. But I will now prove to you that there are some parts are not taken seriously. The imperfection of the criminal justice system. According to the Amnesty International Malaysia, there are cases in 2011. Malaysia national Chinese Ho Yuwa has been on death row for possession of 188.35 gram methamphetamine. He refuted this by stating it was inaccurate. The police broke his finger. The police broke his finger during the interrogation and threatening to hit his girlfriend to make him sign it. This shows that the lack of adequate timely legal problems, torture, and other ill treatments during the investigation. Furthermore, there were unfairness during the interrogation. According to the Police Abuse and Accountability, there were cases in January 2010. Muhammad Ramdan Yusuf has been died in police custody. Off-White post-mortem examiner found that cardiac arrest. With the evidence blunt force trauma to the limb 5 days after he was arrested. The police report that he was died because the cardiac arrest, but a relative who identified on Ramadan's body in hospital saw a bruise mark on his body and indication of bleeding. This case proved that there were unfairness during the interrogation. Next, some of you may think that the criminal does not deserving a second chance because of the serious crime that has been committed. So now I will prove to you that they are indeed deserving a second chance because they have been forced to commit that crime. The question of human right. The death penalty is condemned those who enunciate into death. The death penalty cannot be undone if the new evidence reveals, because the death penalty is different from the life in prison. According to the Amnesty International measure, as of February 2019, about 1,281 people were reported on death row in Malaysia. Next, there are discrete criminals in the death penalty. Malaysia representative for the Asian Commission on Human Rights, Edmund Buntaisun, said that 100% those who are sentenced are drug mules. Drug mules is people who carries a small amount of drugs on his or her body to avoid detection by the police. Most of the drug mules are less advantaged socio-economic background. So this show the criminal do that crime because of the driven to do it due to pain, fear of danger, as a means for survival. Alright, so those are all my main point about. So I hope I have convinced you that the death penalty by hanging should be abolished, because first, it is punishing the poor, the imperfection of the criminal justice system, and finally the question of human rights. Before I end my speech, the death penalty cannot be undone if we cannot 100% fair. Before I end my speech, let me share a quote from John Grisham. He said that who exactly give us the right to kill if killing is wrong, and why we are allowed to kill? Think about it. Thank you.